Then, the very next day, while he was asleep, he received a phone call. Upon answering and listening to what was being said, it was a conversation of a very serious nature. He was feeling extremely unwell during the call, so he rushed to the bathroom, somehow cleaned himself up, and came out, only to realize that he had a meeting scheduled. After that, he went straight to the bank and tried to withdraw some money. The female receptionist there was completely taken aback when she saw his passbook. She wondered how someone so young could have acquired such a large sum. When she asked what he did for a living, and he replied that he was a hunter, she was stunned and left deep in thought. They get paid so much because they do such extraordinary work, the person in front of him said, adding, "The person I work with earns that kind of money." Then he went to his sister's school. She was completely stunned when she saw him. She exclaimed, "Who am I looking at? You've changed completely. Are you really my brother?" As he walked down the school corridor with his sister, all the girls stared at him in complete astonishment. His sister remarked that he looked incredibly handsome and that the girls were going wild over him, at which point he gave her cheek a hard squeeze. Then your brother walked into the headmistress's office, or rather the headmaster's office, and when he introduced himself as her brother, the headmistress invited him to sit down. She then handed over some tea and asked if she was studying properly.
"Yes, she certainly studies well," her brother said. The teacher then mentioned that it was excellent news that his sister wanted to apply to medical college. However, he was taken aback when he heard the sister intended to do work with him as a hunter, realizing it was a highly risky and dangerous undertaking that couldn't simply be done like that. The teacher added, "Yes, I know all of that, and I have tried hard to make her understand, but she simply refuses to listen." The teacher then said that there was another girl at our school who had already joined the hunter group. It would be great if you could make her understand just how difficult the task is. Her mind isn't in school at all. He was completely startled when he heard her name called, as he was waiting for her outside, someone he recognized. She slowly came down and was utterly taken aback to see him. When the girl asked him what he was doing there, he showed her the phone and asked if she knew the girl in the picture. She then realized that he was her brother. Then the protagonist asked her, "I heard you aren't studying properly." The girl replied, "I won't study. I want to do hunter work." He added, "You know what kind of work that is? It carries a constant risk of death." She said, "But no matter what you say, I am not going back to school." When the girl asked why he was lecturing her so much, he replied, "I would never tell you to drop out of school. I actually have a job. You could come along with me and see it for yourself." Meanwhile, at the airport, an S-rank hunter had arrived. An association agent stood before him with his head bowed. The hunter remarked, "Look at this. Someone as powerful as you stood silently by my side like a servant." When asked if he intended to stay there, he replied, "No." He said, "Look, I have a task to finish first. We can talk about the rest later." When the agent asked where you wanted to go, Hunter said, "Listen, I like you well enough, and I have no ill will toward you, but just listen quietly to what I'm saying and come along with me. I'm here for a really nasty job, so don't make me lose my temper." Upon hearing this, the agent realized what kind of job the person was referring to. He had come there to avenge his brother's murder. Meanwhile, he had arrived at a different gate with the young woman for another task and asked the manager if his presence was a problem. The manager replied, No, since you are here, there was no objection." The girl then mentioned that she had arrived as well, and the manager remarked, "Yes, I have seen you before." This was the very place where the work had to be done. The manager began explaining to them that they would be working with the C-rank gate. Suddenly, another man stepped forward and said, "No need for too much talk. Let's go quickly. We have to finish the job." The manager then explained that this man was a new recruit, a A-rank hunter, and sometimes struggled with communication, so they shouldn't take his words to heart. The manager added that there shouldn't be any problem given the people you have come to train. The young woman then suggested they head inside. Just then, another man approached from behind and asked if he wouldn't take a look at everyone. But the woman urged, "Come on, we're running late. We really need to go inside." Everyone else had already gone inside,
leaving just the two of them. As they were finally entering, a sudden surge of energy erupted from behind, sending shockwaves through the area. The ordinary gate was transforming into something else, and the power levels were spiraling out of control. "It's a red gate." He told the manager to summon their head there immediately, warning that otherwise there would be serious trouble. The manager then called the group's chief. Upon answering and realizing the gravity of the situation, the chief was taken aback and said, "I am coming right away." As he was driving slowly, pondering what to say, the agent asked if he wasn't going to visit his brother's grave. He replied, "What's the point of going? He's dead. He has no unfinished business here. I am the one who has to do the work. I can't return home until I finish it. I need to get it done as quickly as possible." He then thought to himself, the guy has completely lost his mind. They had ventured inside. The entire area was blanketed in snow, resembling a frozen wasteland, and the biting cold was taking a severe toll on everyone. Amidst the confusion of this unfamiliar terrain, suddenly someone shot an arrow from a distance. Just before it could strike the girl at high speed, the boy caught it, saving her life, but striking one of them and killing him instantly. At first, they were completely startled and terrified, unable to grasp the situation. Then, the protagonist spotted them hiding among the trees and realized who they were. As they stared at them, they thought, "The time has come to finish you off one by one." Meanwhile, the group chief arrived outside the gate and realized that since it was the red gate, there was nothing to do but wait. While standing there, he was standing outside, trying to grasp the situation and asking the manager how many people had gone in. The manager replied, "There are 12 people inside, sir. 1 is an A rank, 7 are B rank, and many of them are new recruits." He acknowledged this, but when he saw an E rank hunter inside, he was completely startled and exclaimed, "Have you lost your mind? Why did you let it in? It could die in a split second." The manager, however, thought to himself, "It is not what you think. It is far more than that."
Meanwhile, inside, one of the men had already been killed. Our man, standing there, realized the enemy was determined to finish them all off. A great deal of anger was rising within him. As tensions mounted, the enemy suddenly vanished from sight. Then, the girl came up to him and asked what Red Gate meant. He explained that once you step inside, you cannot leave until you have completely finished off the boss. Then, one of them suggested to the others, "Let's split up. If we separate, we can wipe every monster out faster." Hearing this, our man wondered if the guy had lost his mind. Suddenly, one of them stepped forward and said, "I want to come with you." Immediately, he pushed him away and said, "You can't go. You're too weak."
"If you come with me, you'll die. You all stay here, we're going to kill the boss so we can safely return home." Just then, a woman approached him and asked, "Look, since you all are splitting up, can I stay with this group?" The man thought to himself that the woman must have lost her mind, but he replied, "Sure, no problem. You stay with them and help them out. We are moving ahead." As they started to move forward, the woman joined the other group. Meanwhile, they had been standing outside for quite some time, thinking that if only they could get inside, they could save everyone. Yet despite it being a possibility, they were unable to enter. Just then, another agent closely approached and assured them there was no need to worry, as there were powerful individuals inside who would rescue everyone and bring them out. However, another agent present did not take a liking to this newcomer. Suddenly, a loud noise rang out as a car screeched to a halt in front of them. A man stepped out, and the sight of him left them completely stunned.
Everyone was surprised and even got angry upon his arrival, as he was a foreigner, specifically from South Korea, and they wondered what he was doing there. They then began asking him what business he had in the area. Upon hearing what the chief said, he started to speak, but I interrupted, saying, "I have a question too. Answer mine first." Hearing this, Chief became extremely angry and exclaimed, "Tell me the truth. What are you doing here?" Then he began to speak. "What is this? I came here for something else. This is something entirely new to me." Let us return to the scene inside, where the young woman said to the young man, "You are certainly no ordinary person."
As they slowly moved in opposite directions, they exchanged well wishes, hoping that everyone would make it back safely. They continued moving further inside, and the woman remarked to the young man, "You don't seem to be an ordinary person. You never did answer my question, but never mind." Meanwhile, he was moving forward with the influential figures, pointing out claw marks on the trees, signs indicating the creature they needed to track down. As he advanced, he readied his weapon to confront the massive monster, a giant white bear-like beast that was approaching. A fierce battle ensued, and he managed to take down the creature. Since he was somewhat more powerful than almost everyone else, he had no trouble wiping them out. He had practically finished them all off. After the killing, they stood in one place and reflected that they needed to survive a while longer, so they had to secure a supply of food. Meanwhile, as they ventured deeper together, the girl's questions grew, and she began to think and voice the thought that they shouldn't be going inside the forest. The area is covered with ice bear territory markings. The girl was trying hard to explain things to the guy, but he told her she was talking too much. She said, "I don't understand. You just don't seem to get it at all."
The guy replied, "Look, the deeper we go inside, the safer we'll be. I guarantee it." She kept saying, "I don't understand any of this. Why are you going inside? We should arrange for something to cool things down first." When he didn't take long to start giving out sweaters from the inventory, one by one, they were completely stunned, having never seen magic like this, where a sweater simply emerged from thin air. As the girl asked who he really was, the young man placed his hand on her head and said, "This isn't the time or place for conversation. Don't ask me too many questions. Listen, everyone, just watch quietly what I am about to do." Suddenly, they heard a noise and realized a large bear had appeared right in front of them. They were completely startled by the charge of such a massive bear. Just as the woman was about to step forward to strike it, the protagonist pulled her back and told her to stand still and remain silent. He then advanced alone, leapt high into the air, and delivered a powerful blow to the bear's head with his bare fist, needing no weapon to kill it, shattering the creature's skull completely as the surrounding area was swept up in a sudden gust of wind. Everyone was completely stunned by this shocking little scene, wondering if such a thing was even possible. Meanwhile, he sat there quietly, thinking, "Why are you all so afraid of such a trivial matter?" The woman then began to wonder, "Tell me, who exactly are you?" Meanwhile, the argument outside continued. He wondered if the persons inside had already died, thinking it wouldn't be long before the interior became a tomb for the deceased. Standing outside and pondering for a long time, the agent wondered what was happening inside and whether they were still alive. A party was going on inside, and everyone was having a great time. The girl remarked to him that she hadn't expected to have so much fun there. Everyone agreed, saying they never imagined they would be sitting there, right by the gate, enjoying themselves like this. Then the protagonist told the woman, "I'm just going to step into the woods for a moment. I have some exercises left to do, so I want to finish them." Everyone was looking at him, thinking he was a bit of an odd character. He had gone inside and was lying face down atop a tree, waiting for the monsters to emerge from the lair so he could slay them. After a long wait, he suddenly saw massive, bear-like monsters charging out towards him. He immediately summoned his shadow soldiers, one after another, and unleashed a barrage of attacks upon the beasts. Since he had a large number of soldiers at his disposal, there was no reason for him to face any difficulty. He then set out to easily wipe every monster out. A fierce battle broke out between the monster and the shadow soldiers. The shadow soldiers were far more powerful, remaining unfazed despite facing a barrage of attacks. After a while, the protagonist unleashed a powerful magical army that began bombarding them with fire attacks one after another. He was watching everything from a distance, thinking that this situation posed no real threat to him. However, the bear was advancing rapidly,
attempting to wipe everyone out. Seeing this, the protagonist stepped forward and summoned his most powerful man-knight Shadow. He stepped up beside him and told him, "Come on, the time has come to start the job. Go straight in and finish him off." He immediately charged forward at full speed and launched a fierce attack. The bear monster could barely manage to survive, as the attacker possessed far superior power. Closing the distance instantly, he leapt onto his opponent and began his assault, leaving the other completely unable to put up any defense. The bear was in a dire state. It was unable to do anything, yet it kept launching one attack after another while losing a massive amount of blood. Watching from a distance, our man was completely stunned by its sheer strength, though he was also pleased by the situation. As the bear neared its end, his Shadow Knight advanced to finish it off completely. He swung his large blade once, severing the bear's head. Then, carrying the head, he slowly approached his master, placed it before him, and knelt down, asking him to accept it. Placing a hand on his shoulder, the master said, "You have done an excellent job. Now it is my turn. Let me begin my task."
Our man went over to the bears that had been killed there and began performing shadow extraction. When the task was completed and his bear shadow soldier stood before him, he was completely taken aback. He had expected something good to have been accomplished.